How's it going, everybody? Yeah. So, back with another album review. This time, the long-awaited next album from Dir En Grey, because it's been, I just looked at it, 4 years, about 4 years, which is insane. The Insulated World from Dir En Grey. I got some good news, some bad news. Start with the good news. I'm actually glad I waited to review this album real quick, rather than doing it real quickly. I listened to this album quite a few times, both in my car and at my job. Originally, when this came out, it came out on September 26th. I am recording this on the 29th, a Saturday. I was going to do this video on like Thursday or Friday, because I already pretty much knew where my head was at with this album. And I was going to dock the score a little bit because it was not available worldwide. It was only available in Japan. If someone in Europe or other parts of the world, South America, help me out with this, I believe it wasn't available to stream or buy off of any of the other platforms unless you were to buy the album physically. I saw some comments on like Dir En Grey's official Twitter, I think. Yeah, or they were like, the album's out now, and I just saw a whole bunch of comments in English. I can't listen to this album. It's not on Spotify. Please put it on iTunes, blah, blah, blah. Good news is they have, I believe, yesterday, Friday. I checked it yesterday, and I double-checked it again today. At least on Amazon. So if Amazon got it, I feel like iTunes and Spotify and all of them got it too. It is now available to stream on Amazon Music and buy the MP3 album for $11.30 something, I believe. So it is available. So I'm gonna thank you. I don't know why you had to wait 2 days, but we got it, and 2 days is better than months or whatever. So that's the good news. The bad news, the album itself. Alright, let me just get this out of the way. I am not the biggest fan of this album. I've listened to it time and time again. It's not a bad album. It just feels like a low effort, like playing it safe album by Dir En Grey. You know what I mean? It's just, okay. With Dum Spiro Spero, that album kind of was in my opinion, a turning point for the band, where they just went straight up metal, completely dropped the Visual K thing. I believe they could have done that in was it Ouroboros? And their music has always gotten harder and harder as the years have come past, but I feel like Dum Spiro Spero kind of set the bar for where they were going for the next few years. So you had the Unraveling and some, RK, which is my favorite album by Dir En Grey. It used to be Vulgar. Then I started listening more of The Morrow of a Bone. There's a lot of great songs on that album. But I can honestly say, even after this album, RK is hands down, in my opinion, the best Dir En Grey album. And there's so much energy and passion, and that's what we know of Dir En Grey from the guitarist, the drummer, the bassist, and of course Kyo. We all know how he can get, and he kind of showed that in Dum Spiro Spero, especially with different scents of how all over the place he goes. But then you have the Unraveling, the mini album that they did, and it's Renkaku. That song is just no screaming. The whole entire song's in a high-pitched singing. It's we all know Kyo has probably one of the deepest ranges vocally in all of metal across the world. There's not a lot of vocalists out there that can touch Kyo. Not, calling anything about that. But I just feel back to the Insulated World, there's not a single song on this album that impressed me. There's not a single song on this album that was this is bad. All 13 tracks on this album are that's okay. It's alright, I guess. It kind of reminds me of Lynch's last album, which again was meh. This, I just gotta like, I guess I expected more from Dir En Grey. I feel like they kind of went backwards with this album. I feel like, you know, Doom Spiro Spero, The Unraveling, and RK, and then this just was like, we're gonna bring it down a bit. I don't know. I don't know where the heads are at of all the members of the band. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I've seen like some interviews, and I don't know. Help me out on this. There's always seems to be people who comment on my videos who know a little bit more about the musicians than I do. I just listen to the music. I learn their names. I read the lyrics, and you know, I try to see these guys live, and I try to support them. I'm not too much into their personal lives and what's going on, but for a while, I feel like I've gotten the sense that the members of the band aren't too keen on each other or the music industry. I just feel like they're kind of like, whatever, we're good at this, we know it, we're going to show up, we're going to make music and play it safe. I saw this one interview, I think it was on YouTube, I think it was on one of their like world tour things, I think it was like a trailer, I don't know where I saw this, and I don't know who it was, I don't know if it was the bassist or it was one of the guitarists, but someone was talking about, I think it was The Unraveling, or maybe it was for RK, but they were talking about how, yeah, with Doom Spiro Spero, we all kind of did our own thing on the album and tried to make that work. We just kind of like all went our own ways in that album and try to mesh it all together. And I totally get what he's saying, especially, you know, a different sense. It's like that song is all over the fucking place, but they make it work. You know, Kyo is known for going all over the place with his vocals, but like in that album, especially, it always seemed like they were all members of the band were going all over the place. And they kind of toned that down a bit afterwards. They kind of like, you know, we're not going to do that again. We're going to kind of like play it safe. I'm not sure he used that phrase, but he just kind of like, they wanted to like simpler. And I feel like with this album, they went a little too simple. Because with like RK, alright, right off the bat, if you're expecting me to go like, oh, what, you only want them to go like do their hard shit and like actually no, my favorite song of Dir En Grey, and my favorite song, is it my favorite song of Dir En Grey? It's my favorite song of RK. I'm gonna have to think about if it's my favorite overall Dir En Grey song. That I'm not sure of, but it's and forgive me, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna read the Japanese name and the English translation of it here on YouTube. In my opinion, this is one of the best, if not my favorite, Dir En Grey songs, and it's just such an emotionally great song off of RK. What track is it, real quick? It is 14, track 14. It is called Kukoku no Kion, Kukoku no Kion, which means footsteps in the lonely valley. Now, I didn't know that until looking this up. I never knew what the English translation was, but just listening to the song, and especially the part where it's just the drums going boom, 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 and like a note in the background, and that's it for like a good minute, where it's just a simple drum pattern, and like, shit, you feel something. Like, there's something in it, like, the whole, like, Keel keeps it under calm and pressure, no screaming. It's just a very trance-like, emotional song. Something you don't really get that much from Dir En Grey, because they usually like to throw in, here's like a heavy part. Here, let's make it a 7 to 13 minute song, and we'll make some parts like super calm and relaxed, some parts like this is a pure 5-minute, 48-second song, calm through the whole thing, and you feel like, I don't know, just an amazing song. Not a single song off of the Insulated world triggered me in that way. I didn't get any like emotional feeling. The beginning the beginning half of this album is like hard. The first 2 tracks are like the hard. Although track number 2 is weird. Track number 2, I don't know if I like the song or not. It is weird. It's just a constant drum roll throughout the whole song, and then guitars going, and then Kyo just going crazy, and then like switching up every once in a while, and it's like a 2 minute, 2 minute 45-second song. It's just, hold on, play a little bit. That, what is that? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. The first time I listened to it, I was like, alright, cool, it's a constant. But then it's just like, oh wait, this is too constant. Like, you're not really switching up. And there's a couple of breakdowns here and there where it's the bass. You really hear the boom, 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 boom. Like, I really like how they let the bass, like, come out for a little breakdown. But it's not really a breakdown. I don't know. There's just this album, I don't know. Like, all 13 tracks, and it's all 13 tracks. None of them are like any, just random notes or build up or set up for another song. They're all real songs. They're all right. They're all right. And I've been thinking about this, like, to sum it up, like, to close it off, like, what would be my favorite song off this album? And I've been thinking about it. I believe it's Value of Madness is okay. Because I like the beginning. It's like, oh shit, where's this going? Yeah. Value of Madness, track number 8 is really good. But if I really had to say what my favorite song was, after thinking about it, I would have to give it to the last song, 13, Ranunculus, which is an interesting word. It's more of a slower paced song. There is a music video for it, and it's a weird one. But what really gets me with Kyo, you gotta check out Kyo, what he looks like in the music video for it. Anyway, what really gets me about the song is the piano in the beginning. Let's see. Good bass, starts off slow, starts off nice. Just that piano, it plays throughout the background quite a bit in the song. It's a slow-paced song, a slow-paced-ish song until the chorus, and then the chorus, that's when the drums kick in. It's a simple drum pattern. Not much double bass drum in this whole album, actually. It's just simple drum pattern, simple bass, simple guitar, and then Kyo goes higher pitched, and, nothing about the song really, is different for Dir En Grey, but that piano, that just stuck with me. It was just a really nice, simple piano tune. For some reason, it reminded me of, video games. I feel like it would be, entering a creepy area, or a certain town, or maybe, going into a boss fight or something. There's just something about the way that piano is played. And it just makes me, it just sticks with me. It stuck with me. So with that, being the only song that legitimately, in some way, shape, or form, stuck with me, my favorite track would have to be Ranunculus. Okay, so now, like how I do these things, I put my review score on the thumbnail, so I might as well just do that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's okay. It's alright. Every song is alright, so I guess it could be worse. There's no, see that, alright, so, okay. Could it be worse? Because, I don't know. All the tracks are okay, but that's what makes it not memorable. Like if you go see a boring movie, I feel like a lot of people say, I'd rather have seen a really bad movie, because that would be more memorable. So this is one of those, I'm going to forget about this album. Like, it's okay. I just think it's a forgettable album. And after a 4-year hiatus, well, not a 4-year hiatus, they have put out some music here and there, some singles and stuff like that. It's just, in terms of a 4-year gap in between full-length albums, you know, I don't know. Especially compared to RK being such a great album full of passion and being unique and originality, and I don't know. That's just me. I'm sure people will disagree with me. Dir En Grey is a very beloved band. I know a lot of people are looking forward to this. I mean, they're one of the biggest bands in Japan, and even not even in Japan, and metal-wise, like, you know, a lot of people know who Dir En Grey is. Although it does seem a bit odd that their album wasn't released internationally. I feel like, I don't know, Dir En Grey took a little too much time off, so their fame, I don't know. This is just me rambling, and I feel like what I'm saying is right, so whatever. Real quick, before the end, if you just cared about Dir En Grey's review, have a good night. Thank you for watching. I just got one more thing to say, and it's in terms of what I have planned for my channel, rather than the album review. So I'm just going to take the time real quick. If you care, thank you. I won't take long. This is only going to be mentioning one thing. If not, thank you for watching the video. Have a good night. Okay, so I can't really think of any album reviews to come up to do, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I am going to do something I've been wanting to do for, I think, over a year. I've been planning this video I've been wanting to make for a year, but I finally, like, buckled down, taking some of my extra time, and I'm just, like, devoted myself to doing another bass cover, which I love to do, but they don't get a lot of views, which I don't care. I don't get paid for this. I just love to do it. And I like to learn new songs and whatever. So this is going to be a new song for me. It is going to be based off a Japanese band. It is going to be based off of a band I've talked about plenty of times before. Do something a little different in the video. Something I can't believe I bought some things to prepare for the video, so I'm waiting on those things to come. I'm waiting on to really fully master the song. I'm like almost there. So yeah, I'm going to be bringing a bass cover video within the next week or two. It's going to be hopefully something I don't regret putting out there on the internet. You'll see what I'm talking about. But if you care, yeah, I got a bass cover video coming up. I don't really know the schedule of any of my favorite Japanese bands. They tend to surprise me. So, I don't know. But I don't know if this will be my last album review of the year or whatever. But I know for a fact I have a bass cover video coming up. Appreciate it if you watch it. It takes me more work and dedication to put into those than it does into these, and these get more views, but whatever. I'm happy that people care about my opinion. I'm happy if people like to watch me play bass or guitar, so just happy in general to do this stuff. So just wanted to get that out there. So yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good night.